Hey, how you doing? I've been reflecting on the words "it was uncomfortable" this morning in my journal, and yeah, it's part of this month of strength in the Haven as we're exploring different, interpretations or ways of thinking about ideas around strength. And this is what I wrote in relation to "it was uncomfortable." Discomfort helps me know I'm alive. It's more concerning when I no longer feel it. Uncomfortable, even. No, wait, that doesn't make sense. If I feel uncomfortable when I don't feel uncomfortable, that means I'm still feeling uncomfortable. Weird. Perhaps it's more of a sensitization thing. It ought to be concerning if I don't notice discomfort, or if I shrug my shoulders in the face of it. When I'm withdrawn, numbed out and disconnected, going through the motions, letting it happen, passive, indifferent, cynical. I've noticed lots of things I wish I felt more uncomfortable about. I guess I want to feel uncomfortable because it's a barometer of my engagement, an indicator of whether or not my nervous system is connected and how I am connected. There are many discomforts. Some open doors to better places. Some invite me to be a better person. Some ignite a fire that is hard to extinguish. Some persist and endure. Some never go away. Some create possibilities that were inaccessible until now. And some will be strongly felt right now, but in time will fade and be forgotten. Discomfort can be a sign of and catalyst for change. A question that pokes and prods, tickling and shaking me awake, even when I'd much rather still be asleep. It was uncomfortable when I didn't know what I was doing. It was uncomfortable when my legs felt wobbly, and yet I still had a mile to go. It was uncomfortable when I heard those words, "We need to talk." It was uncomfortable when I asked for what I wanted. It was uncomfortable when you addressed the elephant in the room. It was uncomfortable when we all knew, but he didn't know that we did. It was uncomfortable when I started here. It was uncomfortable to tell you off. It was uncomfortable in that cold building. It was uncomfortable when you told me to stop. It was uncomfortable when I heard your story. It was uncomfortable when I walked. It was uncomfortable to imagine a different future. It was uncomfortable when I had to tell them what I had done. It was uncomfortable when I admitted it to myself. It was uncomfortable when it suddenly stopped working and we had to figure out a new plan. It was uncomfortable when I realized I was lost. It was uncomfortable when I couldn't afford it. It was uncomfortable when they used those words. It was uncomfortable when I couldn't think my way to the solution. It was uncomfortable when you put me on the spot. It was uncomfortable when I realized I was wrong. It was uncomfortable when you assumed. It was uncomfortable to remember. It was uncomfortable when I forgot. It was uncomfortable when no one laughed. It was uncomfortable when you cried. It was uncomfortable when I had to choose. It was uncomfortable when you asked for what I didn't have. It was uncomfortable when you pushed me. It was uncomfortable when I pushed you. It was uncomfortable to ask you to stop. It was uncomfortable to let go of all those other possibilities. It was uncomfortable in the silence. It was uncomfortable when it turned out I was right. It was uncomfortable when I looked you in the eye. It was uncomfortable when we didn't know what to say. It was uncomfortable when the words came out wrong. It was uncomfortable when they wouldn't stop talking. It was uncomfortable when it dawned on me. How do I react to discomfort? Do I want to eliminate it at source, hide from it, adapt to it, learn from it? I guess it depends on the situation, on who is impacted and the potential impact of enduring it. There are uncomfortable things which, when endured, lead to positive outcomes. There are uncomfortable things which, when endured, lead to lower horizons. There are uncomfortable things which, when endured, can build inner strength and resilience, which is then used in the future and passed on to others. Something interesting happens when you invert those phrases, replacing the discomfort with safety, maybe as a desire. I want to feel safe, or a reframe, I felt safe. It can show us the kind of world we want to create and to paint a picture of what safety and connection looks, feels, and sounds like for us personally. What would need to be true for us to be able to say, I felt safe even though I didn't know what I was doing. I felt safe even when my legs felt wobbly and I still had a mile to go. I felt safe when I heard those words, we need to talk. I felt safe when I asked for what I wanted. I felt safe when you addressed the elephant in the room. I felt safe when we all knew, even though he didn't know that we knew. I felt safe when I started here. I felt safe when I told you off. I felt safe in that cold building. I felt safe when you told me to stop. I felt safe when I heard your story. I felt safe when I walked. I felt safe to imagine a different future. I felt safe when I had to tell them what I had done. I felt safe when I admitted it to myself. I felt safe when it suddenly stopped working and we had to figure out a new plan. I felt safe even though I realised I was lost. I felt safe even though I couldn't afford it. I felt safe when they used those words. I felt safe even though I couldn't think my way to the solution. I felt safe even when you put me on the spot. I felt safe even when I realised I was wrong. I felt safe when you assumed. I felt safe to remember. I felt safe when I forgot. I felt safe and no one laughed. I felt safe when you cried. I felt safe when I had to choose. I felt safe when you asked for what I didn't have. I felt safe when you pushed me. I felt safe when I pushed you. I felt safe to ask you to stop. I felt safe to let go of all those other possibilities. I felt safe in the silence. I felt safe when it turned out I was right. I felt safe when I looked you in the eye. I felt safe when we didn't know what to say. I felt safe even though the words came out wrong. I felt safe when they wouldn't stop talking. I felt safe when it dawned on me. So, yes, there's some ideas in there I think that are worth probing and developing. I'm always surprised as I've been doing these, responding to these prompts. So it was uncomfortable as one of these prompts that I added to a bunch of cards that I'm randomly selecting from at the moment to just use for my journal practice in the morning. And it surprises me where things go as I just ring fence a bit of time to let the words flow and see where it goes. So this one surprised me, and it was quite a meaningful one. So I'm sure this will develop into something in time, or if it doesn't, maybe this is enough. But I really love using prompts like this just to help us reflect on stuff and to reframe and explore elements of stories in playful and creative ways. I think it's something that I've found works really well as I'm working with highly sensitive people, especially, if they're kind of looking to re-story aspects of life and reframe things. It's kind of a nice low stakes way of doing that without overthinking and getting stuck in the weeds of thoughts about things, to just let creativity flow and bring stuff to the surface when it feels ready to do so. So, I think creativity is a wonderful option for this, for exploring what it means to be a highly sensitive person in a world that maybe that hasn't been able to flourish in the ways that it could have. And yes, to do that in a positive and proactive way, rather than a resentful way. So, yes, you can use these prompts. I will link to the page where the cards are. At the moment, there's only 15 cards that I'm allowed to use in a pack because of limits on the plugin. I'm using a free plugin to do it. But yes, if it's something that people enjoy and people use, then I will be more than willing to upgrade that and to use this sort of thing more. So, let me know if this is something that works for you. You can do it on your own, or you can come and do it alongside others in the Haven community. Join us for a free month, so you can have a look around, get a feel for it, see if it's somewhere that makes sense to you at the moment. If you connect with anything that I have said in this video. All right, I will speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.